to being better with time. In this section, we're going to continue our exploration of how we tend to use time by default, and we're going to take a look at the most common pain points people experience with time management. My guess is that some of these are going to sound pretty familiar to you. Here are the top 10 time management pain points as reported by high-performing leaders and their teams. We're going to review these together now, and then you'll have a chance to come up with some approaches for how to respond to these issues. We're going to crowdsource those ideas both online and together in our group discussion. In the next section of the course, I'll share with you some of the proven practices for addressing these pain points and how to put those practices into place. Coming in at number 10, lack of organization. Many people report being disorganized or scattered, even if they've invested money and time into tools to keep themselves on track. How about you? How would you rate your ability to get organized and stay organized? Number 9, back-to-back meetings. While having calendar access saves us all time when scheduling, it also helps to create cultures where meetings are scheduled back-to-back. There are so many problems with this pattern, it's actually a contributing factor to the next 8 pain points. People are so fatigued by meetings, it diminishes their capacity in other areas. Number 8, unclear next steps. How does this happen? We're all in the meeting, we think we understand what's going on and what will happen next. Then we go to get to work and we aren't sure what to do. Or someone else has made a promise to deliver, but what they deliver misses the mark. Obviously, something was misunderstood. You wonder, why did we all get together in the first place? How do we prevent these breakdowns of communication that end up wasting so much time? Number 7, unclear priorities. With everything feeling so urgent, it's difficult to know which tasks and activities to attend to first. This often means people are trying to know what projects have the most visibility with other leaders and put their attention there. That is an ego minefield and can drain time and energy. What could be done to gain clarity? What practices can be put in place to set up structures for focused time and attention? Number 6, no time for creativity or idea generation. While most of us are involved in work that is supposed to be innovative and cutting edge, many of our activities are anything but. Much of our time is spent putting out fires, managing organizational politics, and responding to emails. Not much energy is left for generating ideas or solving interesting problems. How do we create time for more intellectually and emotionally rewarding parts of our work? Number 5, limited time for strategic thinking. First, a note about strategic thinking. According to research and consulting firm Korn Ferry, strategic thinking is one of the most desired traits among top leaders, but it is also one of the most difficult skills to find among executives, and one of the most challenging skill sets to train people in. So, when there's a skill that's in very high demand, difficult to find, and even more difficult to cultivate, what do? You might want to figure out a way to develop that skill. It's valuable, and it will help you be an even bigger contribution. The question is how? Well, first, you have to clearly see the pattern that's getting in the way. When people feel inadequate or unskilled, they tend to avoid facing that discomfort. So they don't block time to use the skill, like strategic thinking, which means they don't develop or refine the skill, and the cycle continues. So let's think about how, in a busy day, you can make the time and keep the time to work on the skills you need. Number 4, wasted time in meetings. It could have been an email. How many times have you been sitting in a meeting wondering why you're even there? Or wondering, what is this meeting really about? How frequently have you attended a meeting while also answering emails because you thought that was a better use of your time? Many people report working in cultures where meeting for the sake of meeting is a cultural norm. Or so many people are attending a meeting, it isn't clear who the owner is or how others can contribute. How can we begin to shift this relationship we have with scheduling meetings? And how can we make sure that the time we do spend in meetings is generative? Number 3, low connection with colleagues. Even for those who are going back to the office and spending more time face-to-face with colleagues, people report a sense of disconnection in their workdays. How can we build a sense of belonging with the people we spend hours and hours with each week? And why does it even matter, you may be asking? Well, we are social creatures hardwired for connection. There are feel-good chemicals in our brains produced when we know we belong. And this deeper connection and higher levels of belonging correlate with a stronger sense of purpose. So let's figure out how to build those relationships and foster cultures of connected teams, even if, or especially if those teams are remote. Number 2, feeling overwhelmed. This experience is a close second to the top of the list, and for some, it is the number 1 pain point. However, overwhelm, stress, and anxiety have become so normalized that many people just consider that state of being as part of their job, as if it's a requirement for earning wages to be in a state of dis-ease. It actually doesn't need to be this way, but it might take some reconditioning to come up with solutions to this pervasive pain point. And last but not least, number 1, unfulfilled by goals. While mission statements sound good and big speeches by effective CEOs can generate a lot of excitement, when living out the day-to-day workload, most people tend to lose sight of how their role and deliverables are a tangible contribution to their team, organization, or society overall. Over time, this leads to a lack of connection and purpose, and that leads to a lack of engagement. Short-term ego goals can keep most people motivated to pursue the next promotion or salary bump, and that usually lasts about 2 months before that high wears off and a new ego goal must be set. So what's the answer? How can we foster different relationships with the work we do and our deliverables? So your next steps before our group discussion. First, read the Top 10 Time Management Pain Points handout. You'll find it in the learning platform. Secondly, for each of the top pain points, come up with a solution. All ideas are welcome. 3, use the community function on the platform to share your solutions. We'll crowdsource these ideas and generate solutions in our next group discussion. Be sure to consider the domains of doing and being in your solutions. Remember, the domain of doing is focused on the activities that will make a difference, while the being side of life is the mood you are in and the qualities that you embody. That's what's going to bring those activities to life. It's who you are being while you do the work that you are doing that determines the quality and the outcomes. So be sure to include the state of being you are in and the activities you think will make a difference. Thank you for your time and attention. We'll see you next time.